Okay guys, this is the Digital Storm Eventum. This is their top of the line, custom water cooled, completely configurable, 175 pound box that, you feel the impact of the ground? So, I wonder what it sounds like downstairs. Anyway, this thing's 175 pounds. If I thought Skunkworks was heavy, that one back there, the gray one, that is so much impact. Like I feel the ground shake, and it's concrete. Today's video is sponsored by LastPass. We live in a digital age. Everything we do is online. Online banking, online car payments, online shopping. So why use a single login for everything? Because you can't remember your passwords anymore. Well, LastPass is a digital encrypted online vault for your logins and your passwords. It syncs across all of your devices that you log in, so if you change it on one device, it changes everywhere. My favorite feature is the online audit. It will basically audit all of your logins and let you know where your passwords are weak and anywhere you have a duplicate password, because that's how they get you. They find your password and then they try it everywhere and see if it works. Now, I am terrible at remembering passwords, and that's usually why people have duplicate passwords, because they can't remember them. Well, they've got a password generator which allows you to be able to kind of customize the complexity of that password, types of custom characters, to make it as difficult to guess as possible, but also you don't have to remember it because it's all stored in your digital vault. So stop trying to remember your passwords and pulling your hair out because you can't remember them and getting locked out of your accounts because you've guessed wrong too many times, or that email you were using in the past is no longer active. Start securing your accounts with LastPass by using the link in the description below. You want an idea of how strong this box is? Look at this. So, I weigh 260-ish pounds, about 260 before Thanksgiving. This is the box, handle breaking. You know, you probably should have never picked it up by this handle to begin with, considering it's 175 pounds. I don't know what that is in British units. It's probably like, I don't know, don't you guys measure in stone or something like that? There's at least 4 boulders in here. So here we go, it has an AX1200i in it. Leftover cables, a lot of foam packing. Digital Storm customized systems accessory box. Basically all the extra stuff that came with the motherboard. So it's got the wireless adapters, the standard SLI bridge for non-RTX cards. Okay, so foam. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna flip it this way and try and slide it out maybe. Also open the bottom of the box and like push it out.
It's crowded.
I'm trying. Oh my God. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. It's unboxed. 75 of the 175 pounds is probably the cardboard box. Maybe not that much, but anyway. Phil, you try and pick it up with one hand. Whoa, jeez. Oh, once you tip it, it gets a little heavier suddenly. Oh man, did I make it worse?
I have a solution to that.
Sorry, Digital Storm, you're gonna have to put a new cover on this. Oh, jeez. Ah, that's my fingers. Ha, ha, ha. Are you ready for the reveal?
Let's do it.
Oh. It's so big. The computer's pretty big too. Okay, so this is, well, you guys know this build. If you just want a little bit of a size comparison. Look at this. Okay, so we obviously gotta start by taking off the side panel. Oh, even the glass is freaking heavy. This is, it's like I'm carrying a sliding glass window right here. In fact, even on the back side of the motherboard tray, you can see it has fans and the distribution block that's used to make that really clean wire or tube routing that you guys can see on the front side. Now this is what happens when die-hard enthusiasts start an SI or a system integrator company. You get stuff like this. So starting on the back right here, we're gonna look at a couple of things. You can see we've got fans on the back side where we've got a 280 millimeter rad. I think it's a 280 rad. Yeah, that's definitely, those are definitely, ah! Why am I always sticking my fingers inside of fans? Anyway, this is obviously the 1200X, AX1200i power supply from Corsair. Now this is the custom built distribution plate right here, because if you remember the tubes on the other side run straight through, this redirects it to where it needs to go. We also have a 480 rad up top, or 360 rad. There's a ton of radiators in here. This is the power distribution panel I was talking about though. This has obviously power cables that run from this adapter down to the power supply. This runs through the mid plate, and as you can see, they've got these sleeved cables that are going to both of the graphics cards right here. They've got your combs on there to keep it nice and neat. Two RTX 2080 Ti's from NVIDIA with EK water blocks on there. We also have a clear bridge right here for those blocks so that you can actually see the coolant. This is a clear coolant. And then obviously the color scheme they have on this one is more of a bronzy gold color. We've got gold fittings on here. I believe these are Bits Power. I could be wrong, but they look like Bits Power. Rigid tubed, and it's all plumbed into the distribution panel that goes onto the back, like I said. So you've got these cross or pass-through fittings that go onto the distribution block on the back, and then these can be ran obviously very straight and very tidy. So this is the EK X-Res right here, the same ones I have in Skunkworks actually. I love these. They don't even sell these anymore, so they must have bought up a whole bunch of them, or they're still making them just for Digital Storm. 250 millimeter reservoir. This looks like a gold Digital Storm labeled block. I don't know who makes this block though. And you can see we have 2 sticks of G-Skill DDR4. Now this is a 9900K. It is overclocked. So components wise, they really are off the shelf. What really makes this system unique is the amount of custom work they put into the chassis. As I mentioned, this chassis is only built for them. So the front fans blow directly on your storage options, which as you can see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that can go in there. Looks like you can do more right here if you remove this. Yes, they are hot swappable. So you flip that little slide up, and then you can put it in there. So on the bottom, it's very similar to how I have Skunkworks set up. This is a 560 radiator, which means we have 4 140 millimeter fans. It appears to be about 45 millimeters thick. Again, I don't know who the brand is for. Why am I always sticking my fingers inside of fans? I don't know who the brand is for this, but what I can see down in there is the bottom basement is soft tubing, which is, I guess, nice. That way you can easily move it in and out. Having had Skunkworks be all rigid tube down there, it can be kind of a pain in the butt trying to get to those. What I think could have been nicer personally is do like I did on Skunkworks, a very similar setup. Flip these fans around so the air is coming in and then these are exhausting it and it just goes straight through. That's exactly how my Skunkworks is set up. But what do I know? I am not Digital Storm. So let's go ahead and fire it up and see what the clock speeds and stuff are out of the box, because this is supposed to be overclocked. Let's go ahead and run Cinebench and see what our temperatures are like and what our clock speeds are like. Oh, 4.7, but they're hitting 59, 61, 50, 60, about 10, 12 degrees cooler than my small form factor build. So I went ahead and pushed the overclock to 5 gigahertz, which is pretty much possible for just about every 9900K. In fact, the turbo boost on a 9900K on one core is 5 gigahertz. But we applied it to all the cores, upped the voltage a little bit, and also upped the RAM speed to 3600, up from 3000. Temperatures are amazing though, 70 on the package, all the cores are in the 60s, one core hit 71, and a 2088. So yeah, that's, obviously this cooling system can handle much more, but because it's not my computer, I'm not gonna push it too much farther. Now we will do a test after where we put the side panels back on to check for airflow, because obviously with the solid panel right here, I'm curious as to what the airflow situation would be there. So our temperatures have pretty much stopped climbing at 50 C on the main card. It will drop down to about 47 C on certain scenes, but 50 is where it maxes out. We think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's not a lot of space between the glass and these fans, which means, I mean, this is still perfectly reasonable though in terms of temperatures. Not the coldest you can get on water, but the 2080 Ti does run warm. We've tested that on water before. It's certainly a warm card. There's also the 360 rad on the top and the 280 rad on the bottom as well. So we are still getting decent temperatures considering the fact we have so much radiator space in this. If you took the side panel off, the temperatures would come down a little bit because you have such a massive radiator and then it can get way more airflow. So this is one of those where the design choice was kind of more aesthetic rather than being 100% functional. I think there's no denying though that it's certainly beautiful looking with all that RGB goodness in there and the fans turning and doing their thing and all the hardline loops and stuff. So, I mean, 50C though, that is what, 34C below where the, 84 degrees is where the factory fan curve is if this had been an air-cooled system. So the Digital Storm Eventum X has definitely been a flagship of theirs for quite a while. You can order it in pretty much any CPU configuration that you want. It's got Threadripper, Ryzen, 9th gen, obviously as you can see, X299, And what this is a showcase of what happens, like I said, when PC build enthusiasts start a company and start building the craziest PCs that they can available to the public. People ask me all the time if they can buy PCs from me because of the custom stuff they see like Skunkworks and all that. And although unfortunately I do not sell to the public, this is one of those things where you could have a system that's even better than something I can build because of the manufacturing process I've got on this. Like the power pass-through on the motherboard tray, that is something that it makes servicing a system like this extremely easy. It makes wire management obviously extremely tidy. The pass-throughs on the rigid tubing, this is available in soft tubing as well, but this is obviously the rigid tubing model. You've got the distribution blocks at the top and on the back. You've got extreme detail, even in the paint job. This custom paint job has like a pearlescent flake in it. The list just goes on and on. The massive tempered glass side panels, which are probably amongst the heaviest pieces of glass I've held before. So you guys can find out more though about the Aventum X series as well as the other CPU towers that Digital Storm makes. They also make laptops. If you guys recall, I did a laptop video a while back. That's still my gaming laptop that I use to this day. You guys can check out that video down in the description below as well. But yeah, this one as outfitted is about $9,500, which is extremely premium when it comes to building a computer. But that's because of the amount of work that goes into the chassis and all the custom configuration, not just the components. Of course, there's the labor to put it together, the warranty, and all of that stuff. And I'm proud and happy to say that it arrived undamaged because of the shipping method that they use as well. And obviously all the soft foam material in there to make it travel safely. So guys, check the link in the description below. You guys can learn more about the Aventum X. And yeah, as always guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one. This is one of those things like, you just don't even want to touch it because it's just pretty.